afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tony, and I'm glad to be here and share the topic security assessment of system level IoT enabled applications with you. And the security assessment is a hard issue, especially for the enabled device, the web, or the information system. And in a conventional way, vulnerability assessment or penetration testing is for a single target, maybe a website, information system, or a single IoT device. And in a conventional way, the dedicated information system, the scope may be small, and this concept is may not be applicable for the IoT system because an IoT application usually is composed of more than one device. If we cannot only evaluate only one device for the IoT system or IoT application. Okay. The next one, we have a slang in cybersecurity. If we want to improve cybersecurity, we have to think like a hacker. This is because the hacker may try everything he can to crack your system or to hack your system. So cyber attacks are an increasing common and worrisome threat. If you want to combat the risk, companies or organizations need to understand both hackers' tactics and their mindset. For example, we know in recent years, rating is a hot topic. The rating is act like a hacker to maybe to access your system or hack your system. And if you want to protect your IoT application or service, you must understand the mindset of hackers. The hacker may try everything to for your IoT system or IoT application. Okay. And our life with IT and IoT. I don't think anyone in Taiwan can live without mobile application or mobile phone. Information technology is all around us, and IoT technology are constantly changing our daily lives. If you want to buy something, you can just turn on your mobile and then press purchase button. Then the product will send to you. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And IoT devices are widely deployed and have become hackers' attack targets. And when you walk into your house, you may find your door lock is connected to the internet, and that is a IoT device. And if you maybe your air conditioner, you can control it remotely. Turn on the air conditioner before you enter the house. So you may feel it's good and comfortable. And I don't think a teenager or a university student can live without mobile device in Taiwan. So we should talk more about the IoT security. Furthermore, if we want to live in a safe and sound, cybersecurity is a very important issue. And what is IoT, Internet of Things? According to the Wikipedia, the Internet of Things describes the network of physical objects, and the object, aka things, that is sensors, device, actuators, and that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting or exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. So in a in a simple way, the IoT device is a device which have network capability. Okay. If we want to know more about the IoT, we have to use the system level view because a single device cannot provide a full application. An IoT application usually composed of lots of devices, sensors. So we have to evaluate the IoT application in a system level view. And in a IoT application or in the IoT system, it usually have 3 layers plus one mobile app. And the bottom is the perception layer, which contains sensors, actuators, and IoT devices. And so this is a device layer or a sensor layer. And the second layer is network layer, serves as a bridge for data communication. For example, the Wi-Fi, maybe the 3G, the 4G, 5G network is a network layer. And the top layer is application layer. The application layer collects data from sensors through underlying network and analyze such data. And then it can provide some service, for example, the temperature information, the humidity information. And you can also control IoT devices accordingly and provide applications and services in the application layer. And the mobile app, you can use your mobile, the apps to control the whole application, the IoT application. So mobile app is another important issue. And if we can know your structure or architecture of your app, then we may know the protocol you use or the IoT system use. Okay. As for the security assessment of system level for IoT-enabled applications, we apply a systematic methods to assessing the security for the entire system. The entire system, including threat modeling, vulnerability testing, penetration testing, and impact analysis. And that's the red word in on the right hand. Okay, and we will describe the 4 steps thoroughly. And the first one, threat modeling. Threat modeling is a structured method for identifying potential threats. We try to identify the threats in the IoT system or IoT application. As we mentioned earlier, we have 3 layers and plus one mobile app in the IoT application. So we have to identify potential threats for each layer. And then we conduct a risk assessment and identifying possible vulnerabilities among each layer in the IoT system. We have 5 steps. The first one is asset inventory. We have to check what's included in the IoT system. And then we have to identify the system relation. We have to know the relation among the sensors, the network devices, and even mobile application. And then we use process approach. And that means we have to identify the data flow to understand which part is vulnerable to cyber attack. And then we can identify the threats, and that is threat identification. And finally, we use threat model to know to have a checklist for the threat modeling. And the result of the threat modeling, we can use then to the vulnerability testing. And in the vulnerability testing, we conduct 8 categories of security assessment, including security and default security and privacy settings, the update procedures, password and cryptography, software and functional security, also authentication, authorization, secure and trustworthy communication, and process and documented information. And the add categories have about 46 check items. And then we inspect software and hardware for major vulnerabilities, use some testing tools. We have to check the firmware and the update process, and check if any malware in the IoT devices. And we do conventional vulnerability assessment. And such result of the vulnerability testing will provide a hint for penetration test. In the penetration testing, unlike the conventional way, which assess only a single system or device, we blend think like a hacker in IoT system penetration testing. And we tie the penetration testing scenario for each layer with 6 categories: code change, argument change, data change, privilege change, service change, and device change. It's from the OWASP Part 10. And after penetration testing, we finally conduct impact analysis according to the penetration testing results with risk assessment models. And the first one is threat risk assessment model, including the damage potential, reproducibility, exploitability, affected use, and discoverability. And all these items are more like to for the CIO or for the engineer. It's from the technical aspect. And for RTEP risk model is for your boss, or maybe for your general manager, because the evaluation items including the reputation and customer confidence, financial loss is more important, the most important, because it's about the money and the productivity, and sure, life safety and health, and fine and legal penalty. So we have 2 models for the impact analysis, maybe one for your CIO, your engineer, and the other for your boss or general manager. And that's the system level evaluation or assessment for cybersecurity. Okay, thank you.